Um, okay. Let's try this. The King's Indian. Alright. Whoa, now, okay, what do you do when you see something that's a bit atypical, huh? What do you do? Alright, white's looking for like a quick kill. I castle, bishop here, throwing the h-pawn down my throat. What are the drawbacks of queen here? Let's do this. So I might now encounter some issues with castling if the bishop is maintained on this diagonal. I couldn't castle, but since it's backing up here, how can I maybe exploit this queen's position on c1? I think I'd like to have the c file open up so that when my rook plays here, there's maybe some issue. Maybe I could force that queen to have to make an additional move. I think this now turns out to backfire, the queen's position, but it might have been a different story again if the bishop were to stay on this diagonal. I couldn't castle as easily. And I don't see a reason to release this tension in the center just yet. There is no pawn push. And, well, now maybe black is getting ready. If takes, instead of c3, I always had check and then picking it right off on the next turn. But now if I just play d5 takes, white might be able to just hang on to it. So maybe I should now go with the capture. Or I guess queen b6 is an alternative. Maybe I like queen b6. Yeah, I'm gonna go with queen b6, and then this d5 move, and then get my bishop out to maybe f5. I don't see any hurry in this type of position with castling. I'm really wanting to, I think, to get my rook to c8 really soon. I want to make this queen flinch. I want to see what she's going to do. I want her to declare her intentions. I don't know if I really want to push g5. I do want to play d5 right now, though. I don't want this knight coming to c4 to hit my queen. So let's rule that out right away. But now there's an issue on this square. So I think now I don't want to close the c file up. Or maybe I do. Huh. I was really... A lot of my attention early on was to have this c file open up, but maybe I could get my b pawn rolling. No. I want to get my rook opposite the queen. I believe it should be the e pawn that takes. However, there could maybe be some... Oh, okay. I'm not afraid of that. Because now I have a 2-to-1 majority in the center. I could play this move with tempo. Should I do it right now? I don't see a reason to not do it right now. Hang on. I got a little nervous there. Got a little nervous. I mean, my knight's protected. I was, had a little gasp right there because I was thinking that the knight could jump into b5 and come here with check, but I could castle just in time, and if the knight plays here, I could always move my bishop, and I think the knight runs the risk of getting trapped if it gets to d3. It's not really hitting anything if it can't make a capture on c8. So I think the quick assessment here, I think a computer would be saying that black stands better. I have more space. I have a better center. I'm not lagging in development. If knight takes knight, how should I recapture? Oh, okay. I don't have a choice really with that. If knight takes knight, I don't know why there was a need to give up that dark square bishop. Okay, the knight's ready to come here, but I castle just in time. Is this the idea? Pawn push? This can't be correct. How could I be so confident? How could I be so confident about that? This can't be the correct idea. If this knight can't make use of d6 successfully, this knight is then going to be out of play on a3. And this knight on b3, I think, well, at least in my mind, I'm already viewing this knight on b3 as being out of play. Seeing how this pawn is on a half-open file, I think I do well to just place the bishop right here. There's not really going to be a better square, I don't think. I could kick this knight away right away. Let's do it. So he's got to go to a3. And now, next up, I think I throw my rook opposite the queen, something I've been wanting to do, something I've been talking about for quite a bit. I do have the bishop pair, so any additional, generally speaking, any additional pawn exchanges are going to be benefiting me. So let's throw another rook still opposite the queen. And this is the break maybe I should be trying to get in, and I think it's the one that I can get in. However, as soon as this pawn makes a capture, the queen can maybe be picking off h6. So I am considering king g7. I don't know if pushing here, maybe just it's best to tuck the king in right here. In some sense, a little bit closer to the center. I'm also looking at just d4 right away with takes. I'm kind of liking this, but maybe another way to view this is that there's absolutely no rush. I think this is a pawn break that I can get in no matter what, unless this knight plays here. Hang on. I could slow play this, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's any rush. I'm retaining my center, and I'm looking to induce some weakness. h3, maybe I could get a dark square battery. Okay, I think that this is going to be very annoying. Okay, he's a giant thorn, without a doubt. I'm on this rook. I don't know that white should have allowed that. I don't think that should have been allowed. Okay, I'm going to reroute my knight, and I'm doing this so my queen could recapture the bishop. I'm looking to now take on h2. This is my plan. I'm going to keep this center right here. These knights, unfortunately, don't have support points. Come over here. This is going to be very dangerous. There might already be something involved with rook takes. I could push here. I'm not going to do that, though. Wait, pawn push. What's my clock? Okay, hang on. Oh, I could do rook here. And then just double up. But I think I want to get my knight into this f3 square. I think I should just move fast. 40 seconds. I think I could give up the two rooks and get the queen in return, and my queen and knight alone should be able to do some damage. Let's go with that. And now, actually, okay, it's not even that. So the king is just trying to run away, but I don't think it's going to be able to run away. This is too difficult. I'm controlling way too many squares. I believe the queen turns out to be trapped now. Yeah, she's running out of squares. Where is that knockout? Could have also played pawn up. The queen could run away in this direction, but seeing that there's got to be some knight check followed by a queen f5, I think this is now working. It should be working. Knight check, so the king can't play here, and if pawn takes, queen here is also another possibility. Queen h3, basically just a clearance. That knight move was, and it came with check. There's queen f2, and that's going to be game. All right. Good game, Colas. Let's back up, and let me flip the board and see if we could take a thing or two away from this. So, I think if you're really to make, again, if you're going to make this an inconvenience for me, maybe consider bishop f4. It's true that I could still play g5, but okay, it's a bit more weakening to my king side. f5 is really the one that's that pops right out in my mind. If I'm doing g5, I'm thinking already, if I lose my light square bishop and a white knight gets there, or your knight gets there, I'm going to be suffering. So I really didn't want to have to do g5, and that's kind of why I ended up never doing g5 in this game. So maybe bishop f4 is going to be a bit better. And I think because of maybe the bishop's decision, and okay, I mean, this is a very solid setup, something that I think, a structure that I've played with many times, more times than any other structure in the game, is this one right here. This little pawn triangle controlling dark squares, getting that dark square bishop outside, but okay, you put a question to this pawn. I think this is the big turning point, however. I know that there's going to be a difference between bishop h4 and bishop f4 when I put a question to the bishop with h6, but this right here is an even bigger turning point. And that is how the recapture, I think you have to go with the pawn. And I like going with, look, there's 4 different pieces that could capture, both knights, both pawns. How do I know it should be this one? Well, if you take with the c pawn, if you follow the rule of taking towards the center, I don't like that this c file is wide open. Already, just the bishop out, rook c8, this is going to be a problem. Bishop f5 in particular. And, you know, just the idea of a knight move to b4, focusing on c2 with check. Or maybe even queen checks. You know, it opens up, there's 2 ways to actually view it. Taking with the c pawn on d4 opens up this diagonal, it opens up this file. Taking with either knight is going to allow a 2-to-1 majority in favor of me, as was the case in the game. Taking with the e pawn, well, you don't have those issues on the c file. And you could follow up with castle and eventually get your rook on e1, half open file. I think that's really the way to go. I'm pretty sure if there was a computer evaluation, it would kind of be fluctuate. It would change at this moment right here, taking with the knight instead of the e pawn. I think it would be recommending the e pawn. I can't be certain, of course, but anyhow, that's the big turning point. You gave up the bishop. I'm not sure what the intention was exactly with that, but there's no compensation now. I have the bishop pair. I have a good center. There's no, you don't have a lead in development type of thing, or can capitalize on a hole in my position. There really isn't anything to really take advantage of. I guess my last recommendation is to not really allow this giant thorn with h3. Maybe you should be playing first h3 and then go with this bishop g4 idea. But now it's a problem with this pawn capture. Then he's a weak link. He's your isolated pawn. I've already bumped up my king, and I'm ready to roll on that h file. Okay, good game, Nicolas. Let me close out.